Can't get rid of us. We're everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere. Like a French disease which you get from New Jersey in New Brunswick. So I learned last time I watched 1776.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Don't alienate our Joycey folks.
Okay, well, since we have tens of viewers,
you never know. Let's not alienate any areas.
Anyhow, I want to give you a quick rundown of how you can find us. You can find us on YouTube at altworldtube.com, or on Facebook page at facebook.com/altworldstudios, or on Twitch if you search for Altworld Studios. We are live, we are webcasting, and we will basically be recording this as a podcast, so you can download it as your favourite audio channel on your favourite podcast channel. Just search for the Nick and Jean Show. You'll find us there. Have a quick cup of tea. I actually said a lot of words there.
Yes, you did.
Tea good. Tea very, very good.
Well, we should first start by saying it landed on a Sunday. A lot of people are celebrating the fireworks. The fireworks displays, at least here, are tonight.
Yeah, so basically we are coming at you live. We'll probably be going for about the next hour and a half as we talk about various topics. So there'll be no doubt at some point you're going to hear some bangs or booms behind us. That's just a local neighbourhood trying to blow itself off with fancy explosives they can get from the local big box store.
Yeah, last night it was, I mean, it's usually loud around here on the 4th of July, but I think this 4th of July in particular, it was much louder than it's been in the past. There's a lot more celebrating going on this year.
Well, because everybody's actually allowed out.
Yeah. When I walked our dog this morning, and it was like 11 o'clock, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Neighborhood was just quiet. Nobody was out. Nobody was moving. Literally, the entire neighborhood was just still.
Okay.
And I looked at Loon and I said, well, that's what happens when you're up all night partying.
Well, there was explosions and various other things going on all the way up to about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Which I have to say, in this neighborhood, it's actually kind of nice to see here a repeating boom, 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 boom. We're actually weren't.
Yeah, it's not gunshots.
Not actually gunshots. I wish we were kidding when we said that, but we're not. So.
And if you've listened to any of the podcasts, whether live video or on...
More like our audio ones.
Or the audio ones. You've probably heard a few ambulances and fire trucks, police cars, gunshots. Yes, we do.
Fun times. Anyhow, so basically it's 4th of July weekend, so I just want to say a couple of things here. First of all, basically thank you to the military that basically keeps us safe. And all the frontline responders to fire, ambulance and police also do the same sort of thing.
Everyone.
Thank you very much. And I also want to say a special thank you to my Coast Guard son, our Coast Guard son I should say. I want to say be safe, and I love you kiddo. Be safe up there.
We love you. We miss you.
Well, I love him. I'm not sure about the whole missing thing. I mean, he's got his own life thing going on there. I mean,
And we're very proud of him.
Very jealous too, all that disposable income.
So, everybody, happy 4th of July. We hope you're all celebrating responsibly and safely.
Something like yes. Anyhow, for all of you that are basically watching on one of your podcast channels, which basically means you can actually see what's going on, we have a lot of changes here at the Nick and Jean Show. If you're also watching our webcast on our Facebook page, on Twitch, or on YouTube, you will notice we actually have these fancy dancy graphic things going on. We got all graphical. Well, Jean got all graphical. And we basically decided to put together an interesting little thing to make this show look a little more interesting to look at. So basically, they're staring at you from basically the other side of our kitchen. And we basically...
Trying to make it look a little nicer for you guys.
More visually entertaining. So I want to talk you through a couple of features. First off, right here. I should put it right here. That is our Twitter handles. That's how you can find us on Twitter. I am at Altworld, and that's basically at NerdGirlG. So
you can find me at NerdGirlG on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere.
Okay, she's got a lot more things going on. I mean, I'm just on Twitter. You may actually be able to follow using that handle on Instagram as well. If not, you can always follow us at Altworld Studio, or basically on our Facebook page at facebook.com/AltWorldStudio. Oh, look at me basically shilling URLs and things around. Look at me go.
Well, gotta make a living somehow.
Yes. And this, well, I'm not sure we can make a living here. About tens of viewers that are coming and watch us daily.
Well, you know, we're growing.
Yes, like
We're tiny, but we're growing.
like a small piece of. I'm trying to think of something. I'm losing it very quickly here. So as I try to catch that thought, let's just talk about cool things that's going on around here. You may notice also we have a slightly changed backdrop going on here. There we go. You know, so basically you still got the cat food, so you still can see the cats coming in and out and doing stuff. But we basically upped the some artwork that we get. Come on, just my big old head out of the way. And let's go this way. So my big old head is out of the way there. So basically you can see some of the artwork we basically put up at conventions, and a few other bits and pieces here and there that basically is part of growing and very strange new collection that's not actually stuck in storage somewhere. We thought basically to make it much more interesting look. Let's face it, you guys. You've been watching this on webcast, and we've gone from basically webcasting in separate rooms to put them together on one camera, and you've seen cats in cages in the background. We've been looking after a couple of strays for somebody, to basically a strange off-white background in the background. So we've tried to make it a lot more visually exciting for you. And as you can see, I'm quite happy. This has got a very much Batman '66 vibe to it. I kind of like how it looks. I do feel like we should be saying golly gosh or something like that. So. Wow, holy metal or something like that. I mean, you know,
G
Willikers and that kind of thing, and then that kind of stuff. We're like weird about my '66 and have we filmed at a kooky Dutch angle.
Maybe we'll have to do an episode like that.
Maybe we will. Yes. I will put my Batman outfit on. I mean, my Robin outfit. Who knows? How exciting would that be? Would you like to see us in basically a Batman and Robin outfit? Please leave your comments over there. And let us know. So, you know,
hit us up in the chat or at our Nerd Girl Jean or Alt World.
Well, you can talk about what are you talking about? But anyway, I want to talk about clothing because, you know, this is a good time to actually basically get us basically dressed up and change outfits. We're both going to the gym because basically ever since my event 6 weeks ago I almost died. I mean, losing a lot of weight. You notice here, you see here? I've gone from like 261 pounds and I'm all the way down, and down now. Wait for it. 228 pounds. It's actually fantastic. To give you guys the context here, when I first came to the US about 20 years ago, I came in at 220 pounds. I was at a constant 220 pounds for 10 years before that. Just coming to the USA and all the wonderful food that you have here, basically I ballooned up, and then basically lots of water came in, and basically my heart tried to kill me. But that's my stuff. But you know the really cool thing about losing all this weight, apart from basically feeling fitter and thinner and that kind of thing? The cool thing is, I can wear all my old T-shirts again. So remember, this is the old Stark.
Yeah, I know. It used to be like really snug. No,
it's a kind way.
It's like
it's a kind word for saying basically I don't look like a sausage, a pork sausage stuff, or some pork sausage.
Oh, you didn't look like that.
Yes, I did. It wasn't doing me any good at all.
It wasn't doing you good, but you didn't look like a pork sausage.
I also recommend that basically you should look after yourselves. And, you know, even if it's just going out for a walk once a day or something like that. Keep yourself in training. Watch where you eat. Cut some processed food out of your diet if you can. And just basically, just keep an eye on yourself. We've only got one body and one life, so we should basically take better care of it than we have of it. Now, I'm not a born-again evangelist in this area, trust me. I've been going to the gym for 6 weeks now, and I still hate it as much as I've ever done. But it's important that basically we look after these shells, so our ghost inside our shell basically keeps walking around. I did an anime reference there. One of them, you got it. I'm being clever. Anyhow, I am rabbiting here, and I'm trying to drink my cup of tea. So what I'm gonna, we're gonna move to the next segment. Should we move to the next segment?
Well, since we're talking about changes.
Changes.
Changes. Sorry. There's gonna be, as we said, there's gonna be changes to the podcast, as you see, and this is gonna be continually being updated and upgraded and. So that we can provide you with better content.
Good.
And we urge you to go join our Patreon, patreon.com/teddybeartales. We're going to start over the next couple weeks and months. We're going to be adding behind the scenes, polls, extras, first looks, Q&A, special streams, streams from the conventions. And all kinds of other stuff. So hop on over there and join so you can be the first to get all the good stuff when it comes.
I also want to point out basically any donations that you basically send to our Patreon will basically go towards basically helping us produce actual basically more comic books. We are in the middle of producing Awakenings, which is the next Night Guardians book, which basically features the teddy bear heroes who are basically trying to save their child from the Lord of Nightmares. We're getting closer to the late August release now. But all the money that we basically be collecting together on Patreon, that we basically in pre-orders or whatever we do there, actually literally goes towards basically making these books happen.
So all tips and donations will be going towards all studios, productions, and content, and supplies, and whatever else.
Basically, folks, you're helping us make comic books. Everything else we do, we pretty much do for you yet. And I refuse to have, if I only artists work for them, I refuse to basically let them work for free or for the dreaded exposure.
That's never fun.
The exposure's never fun. Remember, kids, you can die of exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, that's enough of what's going on. As you see, we're looking pretty cool. We're trying to make great news, so I hope you come jump on board and start following us. It'd be a real blast if you do. But this show is all basically about basically all the stuff that we watched and what we find pretty cool out there. So should we start talking about that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a question for you. I mean, it's been a bit of a busy week, first of all. Is all our weeks usually are. So what have you been up to this week?
Well, I almost.
Caught eating sunburst. So she's like, I don't know what to say. Basically taking over the mic for a couple of seconds because Jeannie's in the middle of eating a starburst and she can't eat and talk at the same time. Plus she's trying to look for her notes. She's trying to figure out what she's been doing this week. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been doing this week and then basically go back to you when you're not eating a starburst, okay?
I'm sorry guys, I'm like trying to do 15 things at once and manage like the...
And eat starburst. As basically you're trying to do 15 things at once, I'll just talk about some of the things I've been doing this week. We already talked about the weight loss, and basically I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'll probably even even 10 pounds less than I am at the moment. But I've been bopping around looking at stuff on TV, and I basically been watching Gundam again. Yeah, I know. I returned to the emo of mecha genres. And I swear to God, they're getting worse. We've only got like 10 episodes left before it basically goes away forever, and the only thing left that's the OVA. But the characters, I'm pretty certain, are changing size, stances, and political beliefs every episode now. It's like, come on guys, pick a side already. I mean, I see they go, oh, we'll go over here and talk and be your friend, be your ally. Oh no, we'll go over here, be your ally over here. Oh, I think it's depending, and it's just. Like, come on, I cannot remember watching this show 20 years ago when I first saw it, and it actually ever being this bad. Yeah, it really is. I'm getting to the point now, basically, I'm actually watching the show and I'm recognizing all the looping key animation, that's basically pre-purpose all the time. And I come to the conclusion, the only reason nobody can destroy the Gundams is because they move. Everybody else stands still, everybody else in their mobile suits are basically staying still and shooting their guns or whatever, and are dying with the as basically they fade into nothingness. But the only reason they die is because they don't move. These Gundams, they'll move all the time, they're moving around all the time like this, but the enemy monsters are always staying absolutely still. So I'm actually thinking the Gundam pilots are the worst Gundam pilots in the entire Gundam verse. They cannot hit a damn thing.
There's your Gundam hot take.
It's my Gundam hot take. They are the worst Gundam pilots ever. They actually make the pilots of basically Gundam fighters look really cool. That's actually bad because Gundam Fighter is actually a lot of fun, guys, and you should watch it. But it's like these are just really bad. It's like how it's just I don't know. There's something about this show that's something to niggle at me. I guess you can carry the memories from a show you watched 20 years ago, which you thought was kind of cool at the time. And it's pretty much responsible for me getting into the Gundam genre. And it turns out to be basically nothing like science fiction theatre doing it now. And we probably should stream that basically at some point. We should put it on TV if we couldn't get away with it. Have me silhouettes in the background and just completely utter heckle this show.
Let us know if you'd like to see us do some, live stream, live reaction.
Trust me, live reactions around here get really amusing.
Yes.
But yeah, it's not really. I don't know if it's really a thought. I think it's just because I've grown out of the show. And I've watched there's much better Gundam shows now, like Iron Blooded Orphans, that's really, really good commentary. Mobile Suits Team 08, that's really, really good too.
It's just not meant for you.
I don't. Well, it got me into Gundam. It was my gateway. It was my gateway drug. It was like basically the meth.
But I mean the updated version.
I think the updated versions, and even that's basically pick and choose.
But maybe this updated version is now some other young child.
Yeah. You know, that's perfectly fine.
Gateway into
I mean, you know, I was okay with Gundam Unicorn. That was kind of okay. I didn't like the slightly reboot they did of basically the UC 009 stuff. And if you hear the silence in the background, that's probably somebody getting shot. Don't worry about it.
Or somebody blew off their hand with fireworks.
Probably both. But yeah, it's just a weird thing. I guess I've outgrown this one, I think. But I'm still absolutely in love with Gundam Fighter. And Gundam Fighter, for everybody's not seen, is basically like the Mortal Kombat with Gundams. And actually, Street Fighter.
Start building Gundams again?
I don't get a lot of time between my Lego and basically drawing that sort of thing. It's very hard. I've got all those I've got all those G-Bear kits, and they take 20 minutes. I don't have time to build those either. But maybe we'll see. But yeah, it's a lot of fun in many ways, I guess. But it's just I've outgrown. I think I've outgrown Gundam. I'm going to watch it to the end to basically try because I can't remember how it ends. I think they all get together and probably play sad songs at it. Of the angsty anime, I think. You know, they get 6 pretty boys with the crazy hair. It's like BTS, basically. But BTS, it's BTS. BTS ring, actually. There we go. Gundam Wing was basically the prototype for basically all the Korean boy bands that you see out there nowadays. And I'm putting maybe it is. Who knows? Who absolutely knows? But anyhow, speaking of stuff that basically you can't go home again with, I watched 2 Star Trek movies as well.
Yes, you did.
Yes, we did. The original with the original series cast. These are not the Next Generation movies, and it was like a light and day type. It was day and night. No, not light and day. What am I talking about here? Basically, it was like a day and night, a day and night thing. We had two different times where we had the Final Frontier. I watched the Journey Home, Star Trek 4. Then I watched the Final Frontier, Star Trek 5. And basically, we know that Journey Home was basically directed by Leonard Nimoy, and the Final Frontier was directed by William Shatner.
You can tell the difference.
There's a big difference. You can definitely see that Leonard Nimoy is actually the better director. And some would say probably the better actor, but you know, the Shatner's beloved for what Shatner is. And it's definitely two very different styles of storytelling. The Final Frontier is very Kirk-centric, whilst the Journey Home is very much felt like it was watching a longer Star Trek episode.
Still fun to watch though.
Yes and no. There's some fun hammy scenes in the Final Frontier where basically the one riding on the horses and be one of the horse Spock, and you can tell basically they wanted to get Sean Connery as the role as the lead villain, but they couldn't get him because Sean Connery wouldn't work that cheap. But it is kind of fun. But I really enjoyed the Journey Home, and the Journey Home is actually one of my favourite Star Trek movies alongside Undiscovered Country. So I could happily watch those 2 side by side all the time. There's some real fun, cute moments in the Journey Home, which really does make the movie. So, so you know, because Star Trek: The Motion Picture, The Search for Spock, were like just bad. So, but we got Wrath of Khan, which is like basically one of the best ever Star Trek movies ever made. Kurt shouts so loud it reverberates into the universe. But yeah, that's what that was kind of fun to watch. But most of my time, basically, I've been working on Awakenings. So, you know, that's the Night Guardians books. That's eating my time. That's going to eat even more of my time as I sit up there and go through the pain of lettering. You think lettering is really freaking easy and people just copy the script over? It doesn't work that way. So basically,
doesn't work like that.
Doesn't quite work that way. So basically, I'm slowly lettering the pages. I'm 2 pages behind my artist.
And it's not too bad, you're catching up.
Catching up slowly, but then again, you know, I'm starting to think basically the next time I write a comic book script, I'm going to have no dialogue. At this moment in time, it's basically, I have so much dialogue going on, it's a pain in the ass to get in the pages. So I'm thinking the next comic book script I have, it's just going to be like a silent movie. And occasionally, I'm just...
Black and white?
Make it black and white.
There you go.
And occasionally, I'm going to just put a screen in and say, Tristan says this, and then move it back out again. because it's like lettering is driving me balmy, and I know the script is beautiful.
It's the one thing I can't help you with.
And nobody can help me with it basically, because you need about 3-4 years graphic design experience to get the shit in there, and it's just driving me a little bit balmy. And all I'm thinking is, what I'm putting as lettering is, because the lettering, the script actually changes as well, depending on the artwork and the artist. So they're not exactly what they're saying in the actual dialogue of the script. Is not.
Can change.
It is changing. I'm like basically I'm improvising. It's comic book improv basically, because the art changes and you can't even need to say less, or you need to say some more. Or
and
maybe
that's why I can't do it.
and maybe like something they said in 3-4 panels back. I think it's a great script that I wrote, but I'm starting to regret all the words. I'm not the opposite of Kevin Smith. Now he just loves people just talking all the damn time.
He loves words.
He loves words. I'm like, yeah.
No words.
No words.
None.
No words. Let's just make it like a Fast and Furious movie. No, nothing. No, makes sense. It'll be fine. Okay. But also, I do have some news. I have some news before basically I hand it over to you. So I'm giving you a fair warning now to get your last starburst in.
Okay.
Hang on, we're gonna actually for you those who are watching.
I'm listening.
I'm just setting the story. For those of you that are basically listening on one of our podcast shows and downloading and listening to an audio file, Jean's now basically opening up another starburst so she can eat it while basically I'm going through my last little bit of ranting and raving in my what you did this week thing. Now I'm hoping you just can crinkle all over what I was saying there.
I was giving them on my ASMR.
Well, you know what? I listen to radio. I listen to BBC Radio 4, which a lot of storytelling goes there. So it's very important basically to always set the scene in an audio way. So basically, those who are watching visual in an audio file knows what's going on.
No, I was giving them a visual.
It's a very Archer sound effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Archer's the BBC 4 family show, not Archer the animated show that's adult oriented.
I realised I said I'm giving them a visual and tapped my ears.
Yes, and you're also talking with your mouth, which is extremely rude. So American. Anyhow, we got our first Comic-Con coming. You can't reply. You get your mouth full of starburst.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, there you go. She's turned slightly to walk the right way from the mic so you don't see her gaping or mouth come open and masticated starburst inside there.
Yes, we do.
There we go. We've got our first Comic-Con coming. It's going to be here in Maryland. Woo woo. It's also going to be in Harford County. Woo woo. And it's going to be Harford County at the APG Federal Arena. I'm not quite sure of where that is. I think it's before Aberdeen.
We're coming for you, Harford County.
Yes, we are. And it's called StellaCon. And it's going to be on July 17th. And it starts at 11 a.m. So go on Facebook, type in StellaCon. That's Stella, STELLAR Con. And you'll find the events page. Hook up, get some tickets. It's a pretty cheap show. It's going to be pretty awesome. It's run by a friend of mine called Kevin. He's a great guy. Great show, does great shows. Yeah. And this is the first Comic-Con in Harford County. So it should be a pretty fun one-day show. Check out the cosplay. And then basically get yourself back out again just in time to basically, you grab a cold one down the local bar or something like that.
And I will be there cosplaying as something.
Should be cosplaying as something.
And I will be posting interviews and behind the scenes from the convention, so make sure you check it out.
I would be cosplaying as me. But basically, you'll find us there. So when you get in there, look for the Oakwood Studios banner. We're going to be there selling our comic books. We're going to be sending some real kung fu prints, which I'm looking forward to maybe previewing next week, if I can get one of them done in time. And basically, we are going to be selling our comic books. So please come along, pick up our comic books, check them out. It's going to be the Teddy Bear Tale comic books, which is basically the Awakening story. And if I'm lucky, I might support local indie comic books, because this is where basically, if you complain about Flights and Tights and none of the original coming out the big two, then check out your local indie author books. You'll be surprised of the breadth and amount of stories out there. We'll knock you away. So this is our first comic convention in almost 2 years. So basically, yes, I'm excited and kind of worried at the same time, because basically,
I know, it's been a while.
It's been a while. There's such thing as convention folk, which basically we're doing all that shit all day.
Oh, so looking forward to the con crud.
I mean, we're not free of COVID. Let's be fair. We're not free of COVID.
Yeah. So the con crud kind of brings a whole new meaning.
Now, I'm vaccinated. Jean's vaccinated. Now, most of the people we know are vaccinated. and I'm hoping a lot of comic book folk are vaccinated too. So I'm still trying to figure out how to approach this and sort of like, do I wear a mask? Do I get myself a face shield? I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure it out because the people that are going to come in, they're not going to be vaccinated. And to be fair, even though we're vaccinated, we can still carry it, and we still have members of our family that are basically not vaccinated, like, for example, your son. Who basically, even if we could carry the variant on, even though we will not feel the symptoms ourselves. So we're in an odd place here, but I just want to let you know, Saturday, July 17th at 11 a.m, we're going to be at StellaCon at the APG Federal Arena in Harbour County, Maryland!
So if you're in Maryland area, come see us.
Yeah, you can follow on. It's just like 20 minutes up the road. You're perfectly fine. But this is the first comic convention, and after this we've got a few comic book day. But we'll talk about it in a future podcast. And I think that's really about it. However, I just want to talk about one little thing. Because you may get a chance to basically get one more Starburst in. I know you're tempted. I actually caught a bit of 1776. I know you watched a bit of it too. Now 1776 was made in 1972 and released in 1972, so I think they kind of like missed the mark. I should have released it in 1976. It is actually a musical drama about basically the Continental Congress that basically trying to get in the Declaration of Independence wrote. Now it sounds like it should be really boring, right?
All I can hear in my head is invited to the Continental Congress.
Okay, you're thinking Hamilton.
All I can think is just Hamilton's songs are flipping through my head.
That's fine. But you think it'd be really boring, right?
No, I was watching it.
It's
hilarious.
It's absolutely hilarious. The Benjamin Franklin,
Ben Franklin's
hilarious. John Adams is hilarious, and the songs they're singing are ridiculously silly, but really, really poignant and great. There's the entire song basically about Thomas Jefferson basically playing the violin for his woman, and it's basically, what can I say? It's basically it's a song about sex, about how Thomas Jefferson gets it on, and dancing. It's really, you really got, guys. If you ever catch 1776, watch it. It's actually better than you think it's going to be. There's some amazingly poignant songs in there. There's actually a whole song sung by a bunch of conservatives in there, and it's so poignant nowadays. It's unbelievable, and it was just like, oh my God, they're singing about sex all the damn time. It really is. They're singing about getting it on all the time. So check it out if you can check it out. It's a really, really good movie. Anyhow, I've been talking a lot, and you read a lot of Starburst while I've been talking. So. Now I've
been busy over here listening and pushing different buttons to keep the stream going.
Anyhow, things are not exploding. I guess everything seems to be working. What have you been doing this week?
I watched Fear Street Part 1 on Netflix.
What's that about?
Well, Part 1 was called 1984.
Again, what's it about?
It's it's a trilogy.
So is that what is it like? Is it like an action, adventure, horror? What is it?
It's a horror, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of American Horror Story.
Okay.
And I guess because the actress is from Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Okay.
She's in the beginning of it, and kind of just got like this Stranger Things vibe, but I guess it's from like seeing her in it and she's also in that. But it's based on a R.L. Stine book. I don't know if you know who R.L. Stine is.
Absolutely not.
He wrote the Goosebumps books.
Oh, I've heard the Goosebumps books.
But you probably didn't. For American kids and older, such as myself, they were like middle school type books, horror.
Oh well.
Yeah. So based on that, but the stuff is happening in this town, and all this bad stuff keeps happening in Sunnyvale, and then I can't remember the name of the other town, but the opposite town.
The opposite town?
The town next to them. Everything's like, everybody's got money and everything's fantastic there, but in the other the other town, everybody's dying every other week, and there's, killings going on.
Oh.
And
So it's like SS.
Find out it's about this. It comes down to this witch that was murdered and cursed that whole town.
Okay.
And now she possesses like people in the town and gets them to like go on these murderous rampages.
Okay.
And these kids get involved in it, and the one girl's girlfriend gets possessed by the witch, and now they're trying to figure out how to unconnect her from the witch.
So is this a series?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's 3 parts.
3 parts. It's a 3-part series. So it's a mini maxi series. That includes these maxi series.
Yeah. So the second part is, I think, in 1978. The first part happened in 94, which I really dug because that's... Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's still set in 94, but the second part, the kids go to somebody that survived this murder spree back in 78 at a summer camp. So they go to her to look for information to figure out how to kill this witch, and she tells the story of what happened in 78.
Okay.
And then the third part, we get to find out about what happened originally happened to the witch. It goes back to that.
So it's told backwards to make it more interesting than it actually is.
For me, I enjoyed watching it.
Okay.
I like horror movies, and there was some really good horror bits in it. Like the one girl goes through like the meat thing in the grocery store.
Okay.
The meat slicer. It's got like all these little like different like thin strings. I guess they're sharp.
Yeah.
To cut the meat. There's like a bunch of them. Slides you right through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some very interesting deaths.
All right.
And the kids in it are really good, and I enjoyed it. I liked it.
That's no problem with it.
I'm looking forward to the next part.
So this is on Netflix. Where you can find this?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Okay. So
I think the next part comes out this Friday, I think.
Okay.
And that's the
next part. So Netflix is releasing episodes weekly now?
No, there's just three like 2-hour. So it's like 3 little movies.
Oh.
Almost.
Okay.
In a way.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Cool. You catch anything
It was
else?
enjoyable. I watched another horror thriller movie called, can you catch a theme here?
Yeah. Watch a lot of horror movies.
Called Things Heard and Seen.
Heard and seen. Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Another kind of possession thing. Well,
So I'm name myself.
there's this house,
Oh, it's
a
just a house.
preacher and his wife in like 1666 come to the town. He doesn't like that his wife is getting all these, free thoughts from these other townspeople, and is horrible to her and kills her.
Okay.
Then it happens again. The next couple move in there, and the husband ends up killing the wife, and now this new couple.
This whole show's about giving away spoilers.
That's true. But it deals with like ghosts and spirits and where you go, the afterlife,
Okay.
and that kind of stuff. I enjoyed it. I like that kind of thing.
You're huge horror
I like
movie fans,
horror
so.
movies. I love movies like The Conjuring that deal with the Seventh Sign,
Okay.
that deal with like biblical things and angels and demons and death, and I just find it interesting. I enjoy it.
Okay, well, that's fine.
So-
No, it's your jam. After all, I can't really criticize because I'm watching Gundam, mate. So
yeah, that was I liked it. And then I started watching Tomorrow War today.
You did?
But
Okay.
I still have like 45 minutes left to watch it.
Okay, so
So far, I'm enjoying it so far.
but we almost found out you have a low entertainment bar. So
Yeah, we joke that I'm like Kevin Smith because I just love everything, and it's true.
I've heard some really bad things about this movie online. I really have.
I'm just, I'm just happy that there's this entertainment content to give to me, and I'm happy that people want to make it and let me watch it.
You know what? I think it's Amazon are trying to basically bring the action movie content a bit more forward to the front. and I think we're going to see some more movies like this.
And ladies, like I said, I've only seen half of Tomorrow War so far. I'm digging it. You probably wouldn't like it as much or Dan. Chris Pratt, ladies, takes his shirt off, looking good. I guess he's been working out for Guardians of the Galaxy, but
he wouldn't look that good if it wasn't for Guardians.
And he's got his shirt, and he's not. And I promise you, it's not just 2 seconds. You get a full shot, and he's sitting there for quite a few minutes without his shirt on.
There you go, guys. I know Yvonne Strahovski's in there, who basically was the spy in basically Chuck.
Yes, she
does she take her shirt off?
I haven't got to the rest of this.
Because that would be more interesting for me. But
I wouldn't mind seeing her with her shirt off either.
But yeah, so I think this is like a gateway for basically Amazon to start releasing more of these action style movies. Now I've actually heard some really bad things about this movie. I really have. It's like a huge plot hole with time travel stuff. I can't really. It's time I'm just going to ruin this. Tell me what the fucky. I can't nitpick it.
Then it just takes the enjoyment out of it.
Fine
if I just not nitpick, just.
Some movies deserve it, like F9.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
That I won't argue with.
But I've got to see it yet to really make any comments on it. Maybe I might see it by next webcast and I can tell you my thoughts about it. I like to nitpick things here and there, and I like movies sometimes that get so bad that they get good. Does this movie, to your mind, hit that wall? The wall that says this movie is so bad it becomes good. Do you think it's going to hit that thing?
I don't know.
You know, but you remember watching that time you watched basically.
But our
our bars are different. I know that.
Our bars are different.
But you know, you remember Legend of the Dungeon Keeper 3?
Oh yes.
With Jason Statham and Grievous from Davis and basically the king's bodyguard with ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? Burt Reynolds was the king.
Oh my God, that was wonderful.
The movie got so bad.
It was good.
It became absolutely amazing, especially the moment
you haven't seen it, go watch it.
You should watch it. The moment the ninjas appear in the battle scene, you just fall in love with this movie. And every scene that Jason Statham is actually fighting somebody, he leaps in from above. I just remember this.
It was good.
It was actually really good. It was actually really good entertainment. So I think Tomorrow War probably has the ability to hit that point. I will watch it hopefully by the next webcast, and then basically I can give you my more unique and singular point of view of these sort of things. What else you see?
That's about it.
That's about it.
So Gundam, how many nerds do you give it?
Gundam Wing?
Out of 5.
I can't give it any nerds. It's bad. Okay. What I score is 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and basically this is what was it? 5 nerds?
Mhm.
Okay, so that's basically eating some kind of candy. I can't. Okay, back in the year 2000 when I first arrived in the USA, and basically I was stuck without no work permit. And I was looking after lads, and I was watching TV, and it came on a Toonami. It was like a welcome release to basically the drudgery that my life had become in Pennsylvania, Wilkesboro. I would, at that time would give it a 4 nerds. Okay.
Well, this version, now I'm watching it 20 years later with a different set of goggles on, I would give it 1 nerd. Ouch.
And I'm not saying this because that's terrible, but because it's insanely angsty, and it's kind of driving me nuts that way. I guess people kind of enjoy that sort of thing, and it really was basically the birth of the angsty anime. But it's like, I'm getting kind of a bit tired of it, and I can get on the story type stuff. So that's what I described. So that's me.
And the musical.
The 1776. Oh, that's a full-on 5.
Alright.
It's with Benjamin Franklin. That's Benjamin Franklin is, and absolutely how hilarious the songs are. I could with that. I could actually watch 1770. I could go to a Broadway show and watch 1776 as a Broadway show because it's absolutely hilarious. The songs are like, oh my god, they're just singing about sex all the time. So it's really, really good.
I'm not gonna give my score on Fear Street, so I watched the other 2 parts.
Okay, that's fine.
And tomorrow I gotta finish that. But Things Heard and Seen, I'm gonna give it, while I did enjoy it,
Right.
I'm gonna give it a 3
Ooh.
because it was a little predictable in places, but I still enjoyed it. But I'm only gonna give it 3 nerds.
Okay, that's fine. 3 nerds. That's an interesting score from you. Okay, so you're not seeing anything else, so you pretty much saw the same stuff I saw, so we kind of come with this sort of thing. And just so you know, guys, Genie Home I'll give 5, and The Final Frontier I'll give 3. Just because.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Because I'm actually interested in it at all, my scoring of Star Trek movies.
Yes.
Anyhow, it's been a bit of a newsy week. And I know you've
The
got.
first thing we need
Yeah,
to talk about,
okay.
we found out right before we started the show,
I wasn't sure if this actually was real, to be truthful. So,
that Richard Donner, Superman director, died.
this is Richard Donner, the guy basically
at
directed
age
Superman.
91.
I know, a bit sad news, but 91. Good score.
Bucket of Wind.
Bucket
Good
of Wind,
life. Good life.
Good life. He basically birthed the superhero movie.
Yeah.
And the Superman movies were basically made in the 70s. And you take the time period and the effects that you saw in those movies, and Christopher Reeve's acting,
Mm-hmm.
really you see 2 people on the screen, you see Clark Kent and you see basically Superman, and you see him basically roll between the 2 roles.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a really great movie.
Oh, Christopher Reeves was just amazing in those movies.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's the Superman that I grew up with. That's my Superman.
That's how Superman should be, everybody.
That's Christopher Reeves is my Superman.
He's just Supes. That's what
He's my Supes.
He's just Supes. That's okay. That's good. But I enjoyed it. The Richard Donner movies were really well made and really well done. And you really do take in the effects at the time. What they did was revolutionary. They had to invent everything.
Mm-hmm.
They make sure they had the George Reeves stuff back in the 60s with the Superman series, but they had to reinvent that too.
Mm-hmm.
So the harnessing, the flying, the wire work, everything they had to invent or basically import. Because they had no idea how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all almost 90%, I see the movie was like 95 to 98% in-camera effects. So basically effects that happen as the camera's rolling.
Practical effects.
Practical effects, in
Yeah.
Probably the bad blue screen around the missile, I think that was pretty rough. But then again, it was the times.
Mm-hmm.
So, he will be missed. These are the perennial Superman movies. Still better than Man of Steel. It shows you who Superman should be.
5 nerds.
5 nerds? I will give it 10. If I could go 10, I could go 10.
5.
But they are a more effective way than basically doing Man of Steel. Basically, when Clark Kent dies in Man of Steel, he walks into that damn tornado and does a sacrifice of things. Clark, don't save me, because for no fucking reason he doesn't save him. Whilst in the Superman movie, if you remember what happens to Clark, it's okay if you don't. He dies of a heart attack.
Oh yeah, that's right, the heart attack.
That's the heart attack, and it basically brings home that basically the man is Superman. Superman has all these abilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he can't
Yeah.
save his father, and that hit home harder because he runs home. It's a whole joyful sequence of him running home from high school, and he wants to go on wants to go on the high school team, something like that. And then basically he's running around the farm trying to his father, and his father dies silently in the bar. And then he discovers him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it brings up the whole thing that basically, yes, he's powerful, but no, he's still a man.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, that scene hit me really hard. And it basically, that's the quintessential Superman.
And Christopher Reeve, he played Superman and Clark Kent so well.
He did.
Just the subtle differences in the way he stood and talked and...
Because Clark Kent, he's like always crunched over.
Mm-hmm.
Superman, he's like this. And you go on YouTube, and there's basically studies of him basically playing Superman and Clark Kent almost in the identical scene, and you see the differences.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add it, it's subtle ways, like basically his body language changes.
Mm-hmm.
Clark is like doesn't look you in the eye, stumbles around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And Superman's like dun 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 dun, and you see when he does the Superman turn, he takes his glasses off and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
you can hear
total change.
You can hear in your head the Superman triumphant music, dun 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 dun, and it's actually a really amazing change, guys. I can't talk these movies up enough. I know.
I can't imagine anybody watching this has not seen the Superman movies.
We'd be surprised.
But if you haven't,
check them out. Check them out. Bear in mind a couple of things. I want you to bear in mind, though, they are basically done in the 70s. There's some stuff that's probably not quite politically correct to nowadays, but they are really well-made movies, and,
yes,
they are really, really put together. And in many ways, the DCEU could learn from those.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, what else you got?
Well, now that we're moving on to the news and rumors.
Ooh, and there's rumors now. Let's go.
Well, I don't want to say things are facts when they're not.
Okay.
Well, one thing that this is a fact, this is news. The Star Wars Visions trailer, the
Okay.
Star Wars anime anthology series.
Okay.
It's going to be replacing the Bad Batch when its season's over.
We know about Batch is going to run to 26 episodes, isn't it?
That I don't know.
Okay.
But it's I believe it's 10 shorts, I believe, in total.
Right.
And they're all from these different anime companies and anime directors and artists, and it looks really nice. I mean, some of the stills that they showed, the animation just looks stunning.
So my question here is it different anime styles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
it's a bunch of every one of them is different.
okay, so
It's a different story and a different type of animation.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first one's called The Duel,
okay.
which should give you a hint of what it's going to be about.
Yeah.
Two people dueling with lightsabers.
Oh, like you do.
Yeah. So that's going to be really interesting to see in an anime
Oh, it should be interesting.
Asian,
Yeah. Cool.
style. So I'm excited for that.
Okay, cool. Well, it sounds like it's like a fun thing. So it'll be good to see when it comes out.
Oh yeah. Apparently, Megan Thee Stallion has joined the MCU on She-Hulk as herself.
Okay, I don't know who Megan Thee Stallion is.
She's a popular rap singer.
I still don't
I
know
don't
that.
really. I don't know. I think she's a rap. I'm sorry, guys. I've heard her name places, but I've never got into who she is. But I know she's popular singer.
Okay. Let's go that. Go that. We're old and reactionary in this podcast. So.
Yeah. Sorry. Some pictures from the Lego Spider-Man No Way Home sets.
I've seen these already.
Yeah.
But I'm a Lego fan, so I'm all over the Lego groups. So.
And some of the other No Way Home toys that are going to be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's got a sneak peek at Spider-Man's new black and gold suit.
Yeah, it's not really something to get really overly excited about. It's just Spider-Man wearing a different suit. So, but I see why people basically love these sneak peeks.
What's something to be excited about?
I'm trying to remember. I think there is one No Way Home which I want to get. I think it's like a classroom thing. I think. So I will have to basically look at them again. But there's also the Spider-Man Daily Bugle Build, which is like this big. And basically I'm maybe getting that.
I was going to say that would look really nice in Lego then.
Might look really good in Lego though, if I really want to spend the $400 to buy it. Yeah, see? I say that and I look at the face. I say, oh, it sounds really good for Lego. And I see the price tag, it's like, oh.
Baby, if you want it, you get it.
She's only saying it because we're live and I'm holding a Starburst hostage over here.
No, you know it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Get whatever you want, baby.
Okay, so what's you got there?
The Masters of the Universe Revelation
Story
trailer came
trailer.
out.
Yeah.
That's going to be coming on Netflix. Woo, it looks good.
Nice animation. Kevin Smith is making a big thing about saying this is basically the stuff like the storytelling that you saw when you were a kid. So expect it to be roughly around that kind of level in terms of storytelling, I reckon. Animation looks nice and clean and beautiful, but then again, sort of the reboot which did back in the early double I think it's going to be fun. The death of Eternia through basically this weird magic drain. That's an interesting way to go. And I'm looking forward to see what they do with it.
Yeah, Lena Headley is Evil Lynn. She's the one that's talking in the, she's the one that's talking in the intro.
Okay.
Tila is Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, Tila. I had a crush on Tila when I was a kid.
He-Man is Chris Woods.
Okay.
Who is married to Supergirl.
You keep saying his name like you're saying him like I should know who he is, but I don't. So.
Let's see. Mark Hamill is Skeletor.
Well, I know who he is. And it's actually Skeletor. It's like he's laughing and he sounds like the Joker laugh, but it's really cool because he's Mark Hamill.
Henry Rollins is Triclops.
Okay, that's an interesting choice there.
Yeah, Justin Long is
I want
Roboto.
to know something. It's like, is Triclops going to start like some beat poetry?
I don't know.
It's Henry Rollins after all.
You never know. Kevin Smith's right now, so anything could happen.
True. They could just be fighting in the convenience store.
Yeah.
Or standing around talking about it. Oh, you see that fight over there? Better go join in. And they come back and camera and go, oh, that was a fight. So,
Justin Long is Roboto.
Justin Long, that will, okay, yeah. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see more like an old couple, okay.
Harley Quinn, Kevin Smith's daughter, is Lena.
Lena. Who the hell's Lena? Is she one of the newer characters? She's got one of the newer characters. There's some characters in the trailer I didn't recognise. So.
Let's see what else. Oh, Bear McCreary.
Him of Also Let's Go Fame with many episodes.
Yes, the soundtrack.
Yeah, they're talking about that, and I listened. I basically.
That is some Bear McCreary here on the Nick and Jean podcast.
He is. Is he done any motion pictures yet? It feels like he should be.
Maybe.
I mean, you know, I don't know.
I have to look him up on IMDb.
IMDb, see what he's done.
He's
had to, but he's a fucking amazing. He's actually a really good composer.
I can't believe that he's only done TV shows.
I'm surprised. I said with Marvel and that kind of thing today. You know, I'm surprised they didn't snap him because he really is good.
Mm-hmm.
He really is good. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing this. I do have it written down as basically it's a kids show, but that's to be expected. But so I'm not expecting great theatrical themes. But I've seen some blowback, on the YouTube channels. There's people basically really fighting back. Oh no, it's going to be like social justice warrior type stuff, that kind of thing. All I can say is, guys, wait to see what it is before you make complaints about it. And if you're complaining basically about women being strong, then you have a problem, not the show. Okay? Simple as that. It is really as simple as that. Okay? Don't get me down that rant again. I didn't know. No, I never that before. The Zach stuff and before that as well. If you ever listen to some earlier podcasts, you actually hear me ranting a lot about basically this toxic side of nerdom. Guys, get over yourselves. Remember, it's a kids show. Have fun with it. And if you have a problem with basically representation, diversity, or strong women, that's your problem. That's you, not anybody else. Nobody. So that's on you. Get your head around it. Simple as that. Anyhow, let's move on before I go down that rabbit hole.
Well, I have heard though that this, Masters of the Universe, there's going to be killing in it and stabbing and.
That's perfectly fine. I mean,
I don't think this is going to be the kid version that we got when we were kids. I think this is going to be a more mature.
From my understanding, basically they're taking it from basically the mini comics that came in the actual packaging, and it was a little bit more violent. There was consequences to actions. People did die. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested to see what happens. I'm looking forward to seeing the shows. I think we're going to see a lot of basically Eternia soldiers and Senator soldiers. They're the ones that are going to basically bite the big one. Like in G.I. Joe when the androids always get destroyed.
Yeah. And the bad guys and the good guys are going to be teaming up.
So that's
to help save Eternia. That's how dire things are.
So I think this is going to make for an interesting show.
Me too.
July 23rd.
July 23rd. It will be
on
Netflix.
Same day as Ted Lasso appears.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Woo!
So we've got some stuff to come up. What should we talk about? We should make our podcast even longer because we're going 1 hour in and we're not even near the Bad Batch of Loki yet.
I know, we haven't even got to that yet. Sorry, guys.
It's okay, guys. We're basically really enjoying our new look. So, I'm basically hoping we'll probably get to Loki before my laptop battery dies, but we'll see what happens.
Oh my goodness. Do you need to go grab a charger?
No, I'm at 41%. That should be okay.
Oh boy.
Anyhow, we did see Rick and Morty, so we're going to talk about that this week. So we can jump back to that. But you think we're ready to jump back into the Bad Batch, or do you want an advert or anything?
No, we can jump into the Bad Batch.
Okay, cool. So I thought we started first line.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
Hey guys,
We're working on
there's
it.
going to be a new feature that's going to appear in the show. We are going to be running adverts and some basically stuff that basically our sponsors, which is basically Old Studios. So basically they're like 30-second trailers and that sort of thing that are coming up. It won't spoil in Germany. In fact, I think it'll add a little bit more to it. We do. But Kevin Smith references. One of the things I've been doing this weekend, I've been catching up on my Kevin Smith podcast. So, anyhow,
You can tell.
you can tell, can't you? You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell. You can tell. We saw the Bad Batch.
So the latest episode of that.
Episode of the Bad Batch.
No, I'm fine.
We want me to put a further way somewhere higher where you can't get to without a step ladder? Just checking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, we've been saying from the beginning that Bad Batch is a kid's show. And it is. It's a kid's show. Don't talk about it. It is.
It's a kid show, but the animation
It's beautiful.
is gorgeous. The voice actors are great. The stories are good.
They're good. The meaningful. There's consequences.
You know, it is. Yeah, there's consequences. You know,
But it is.
people die. People get hurt.
Actually, for the amount of explosions that are thrown around in this show, there wasn't. It's basically it's got the GI Joe level of basically of damage. Things, bones and vehicles explode. People walk away. It's a kids show, and there's nothing wrong. There's really nothing wrong with that. That's what it was meant to be. The Bad Batch are basically on board. They were introduced for one reason only, to sell toys.
But I will say, like, the fight scenes,
They're good.
really good.
Yeah, the anime, it's Clone Wars animation. There's nothing wrong with that. And the show gets interesting when they basically bring the Empire into it. And the last 3-4 shows, we've not had the Empire. They've been not mentioned. But this show, we had the Empire came back in force. Basically, we see them basically taking over planets and conquering the senators to basically tell the people everything's going to be fine, and curfews for their own protection, that sort of thing. And the senator basically says, no, I'm not going to do this. And he gets basically...
He almost did.
Almost did, but then he changes his mind and gets taken hostage, and he instructs his droid to basically summon help to rescue him. And his droid, I've got to say, is like the female version of C-3PO.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say.
But a little bit more, I'd say even more uptight.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She's definitely round up a few more steps even higher than C-3PO.
Oh, yes.
So, but yeah, made for a good droid actually. It was actually interesting to see. So basically, the Bad Batch, or let's just say we should say Clone Force 99, are basically hired by Sid to basically come rescue the senator. So that's what they go ahead and do. They don't take Omega with them this time because basically
She stays with Sid.
Stays with Sid because they're trying to protect her because people are hunting for her now with the bounty hunters and stuff.
And then it turns out that Sid
Is a tactical genius, which you never know from watching the show before that. Just so you know.
and Omega, because she wants to, help however she can, she wins all this money playing the game.
Playing 3D chess.
Playing 3D
3D
chess.
chess.
And clears their debt
To Sid.
to Sid.
Yeah, so basically, might be some interesting story tangents going forward, but they don't actually always see anything. But they actually go. The four many members of Clone Force actually go off and basically rescue the Separatist Senator with absolutely no problems whatsoever because Omega's not there. and I think Talon's one of our cats trying to get it.
You talk.
I'll keep talking.
Go with the cat.
Okay, what's happening right now is basically those of you listening on one of our podcasts is there's a cat, one of our old cats called Talon. Is basically wanted to come in. And what he does to come in is basically go on the front window and scratch at it until we let him in. So if we don't do that, he will scratch a hole in the window. But anyhow, this is actually kind of interesting because Clone Force actually gets really effective when Omega isn't around. Like she's not there to rescue him. And they successfully rescue the senator. But they choose to get away in an ATTE, which is an all-terrain tactical enforcer. It's one of those walkers that move really slow, ka-chunk.
The slowest chase ever.
Slowest getaway vehicle you could choose, made for the slowest chase scene I've ever seen. They're literally the Empire, the Imperial elements are chasing Clone Force 99 in their own walkers, forgetting the fact that basically they can all run faster than the walkers can walk. And they're literally playing ring of roses around the Separatist building, and it was actually kind of fun to watch.
It was.
It was fun to watch,
It was
and
fun.
it was fun. It's the slowest chase scene I've ever seen. But you want to know something? Still a better chase scene than anything I saw in F9, and more realistic too.
Boom.
And the computer effects were better too.
Ooh.
I've been waiting all weekend to say that. But it was fun, and basically those consequences to go chasing anybody once they take off in their ship, and that's bang. Typical Clone Force 99 type deal. And it was good, and it was fun, and we found out at the end of the show that Omega is some kind of tactical genius, which we'd never seen before, and she clears the debt to them, so they're not actually indebted to Sid anymore. So what does that mean in the future? Do they keep working for Sid? I mean, I know...
Probably, because they need money.
They need money.
Eat.
Hunters figure this bit out, we've got to work, and they got certain skills they can sell. That basically gets us money, and Sid's jobs are morally grey, but always seem to be benefited some kind of unseen benefactor. I think she's secretly working for the Bludgeoning Rebellion.
Yeah, I think so too.
So we see what's going on there. And Hunter is trying to go down this path where basically he can look after Omega, and I'm not getting involved directly in conflict, but who knows?
And protect her, keep her away from the Empire or anybody finding her, because he also knows how important she is to certain people, and how valuable she is, and how many people want her. I mean, anything to get a hold of her.
But the interesting thing is, Sid hasn't sold them out either, and she knows the same thing.
Yeah.
So that making me thinking that Sid is actually working.
I think so.
For working for the rebellion. She's working for money, obviously. She has a moral ambivalence that leans towards more good type people or evil people. But we're waiting to be seen. I mean, double crosses do happen all the damn time. But it was fun to watch. The ATE chase was hilarious. It's like, oh my god, it's a chase scene with walkers! Ah!
You would have been better off running.
They literally would have been better off running, yes. Uh-oh. No, you can't.
Sorry, buddy.
But it was fun. And you know what? I can't knock this show. I really can't.
No, it's a fun show.
It's everything.
It's fun to watch.
It's everything it says it is. It doesn't really disappoint. It's just fun, and I can't knock it. I can't find anything bad to say about it beyond saying it's a kids show. But it was made to be a kids show, so that's fine. It's perfectly fine. In fact, we were adults and watching it and actually find entertainment. It tells you basically the quality of the writing more than anything else. So I'm enjoying it. It's between 26 and 28 minutes, depending on the episode length. And it's good and it's fun. I kind of want to see where it's kind of going now. I think I hit that point. Basically, it used to be like Friday afternoon. It's kind of like it's chill down viewing. Now I'm reaching that point where basically I kind of want to see where they're going to take this, because at the end of the day, they're still clones. You know, they still they are commandos, so they got like a warlike bent to them, because that's basically what they've been raised to be. So I kind of want to see where it's going to go. Is Clone Force 99 going to join the rebellion, or are they basically going to be on the outskirts of it all the time? That sort of thing. I guess we'll see. I guess in many ways this kid's show has hooked me.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Still won't be buying any of the toys though. But then again, I've drawn out that a long time ago. Yes, I have. I do not own any Star Wars toys. You do.
No,
I don't.
I meant grown out of toys.
No, I'm not grown out. I've got Lego. I own Lego. I have a huge Lego
That's
city
what
downstairs.
I meant when you were like, I was grown out. I'm like,
And anybody wants to see my Lego city, go to facebook.com/LegoVilleTown. You'll see the city in that.
beautiful.
It's full of Lego.
And it's growing.
It's bigger than my basement now. So. But anyhow. What's up? What's next?
Now, finally!
Everybody's
waiting.
Hey, we made it to the top of the hour.
Woo!
Top of the hour. What do we do at the top of the hour? We talk
Loki. And I'm gonna go let the. You got it? Okay.
I've got it.
Never mind.
There's another cat in everybody.
We have several cats, and they're indoor-outdoor cats. So.
You can go get a cat door.
Yes, I've been saying that for years. We need a cat door.
Okay. So at the top of the hour, everybody, we're going to take a quick pause for a second or two. I've got 37% left of my battery, so basically we should get through this, no problem. Loki. Wow. Lots of things happened in this episode.
What an episode.
I mean,
oh my god.
After basically the slowdown of the Get to the Chopper episode, where basically they slowed everything down and basically did some exposition, that sort of thing, which actually kind of slowed the rhythm of the show a little bit, and has people either liking or hate. It's the Marmite of episodes. You either like it or you hate it. I liked it. I know people hated it. But what the Get to the Chopper show, that's what I'm calling it, showed you was basically it's a COVID show. If you look at the show how it's set up, they're either sitting down, two people in the room talking.
Well, yeah, you also got to remember they were working during COVID.
Yeah, no, I just want to point that out. Basically, you sit in the room talking, and it's usually like a long shot thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or there are two people on a studio soundstage walking.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically showing it's a COVID show. Okay, so I think that may have limited some of the things they were going to do.
Mm-hmm, probably.
So the Get to the Chopper episode probably went to be bigger than it was. But, you know, it is what it is, but we're talking about this show, not the episode 4 and episode 3. I just want to just really talk about it, that kind of thing. But I want to say something. We got something right straight away. And we called it last week. If you watched our podcast last week, you know what it was. We said it's a possibility that timekeepers are just puppets, and there's a Wizard of Oz thing happening.
Yep.
And we were
We
right.
were right.
We were right. Our predictions are 80% correct.
80%.
Hey, those.
I don't know what I would give us 80%.
I know those are good odds. Those are laying down money odds. But what we think is going to happen in the show kind of always happens. We're pretty good at this.
Getting better. We're getting better. We're getting better.
But to be fair, they did kind of telegraph this a little bit. But we were right. The timekeepers were puppets.
Yep.
But you know, that's the way it is. But it's an interesting show.
The puppets were interesting. That they were kind of arranged like the future leaders, floating leaders in Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure.
I was getting that vibe too.
Yeah. And you know what's weird? When the middle one got his head cut off,
Yeah.
the other two were still laughing and like, oh.
Yeah, it was like very. Actually,
it was like.
It was very Disney
That was very
animatronic.
creepy.
It was a very Disney animatronic thing going on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was interesting itself. You're right. I did get that Bill and Ted vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But basically they arranged, and I think maybe it was like a nod towards it, because I think they nod towards it because it's time variance authority and time, that sort of thing. So this nod type thing, and they were at the same time robots with big collars as well. You may notice. But yeah, so that was fun. But you know, this episode is interesting because they started to put a story a little tight in there, so things got to happen.
And
so
we start
with Ravonna and Renslayer.
We start with Ravonna.
When she was a hunter, and she basically takes Sylvie from her time stream, and basically and loses Sylvie as well, all on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very much basically it's all centered about it's a little bit more centered about Ravonna. I thought this one did, and a little bit about Sylvie, and it's a little bit of Sylvie's backstory here going. So we understand how she was found and how she escaped.
Yeah, and her number, Ravonna was Hunter A23.
A23?
Yeah. Avengers comic number 23 was the first appearance of Ravonna.
Oh.
And Kang falls for her, and she rejects him, and he destroys, her world. So.
Yeah, so there's a connection between Kang and Ravonna. We know this.
I think there's more hints to that.
I think they're going to expand beyond the rejection. There's definitely something more going on in this. I also noticed in this case, this episode took a darker turn.
Mm-hmm.
The TVA have done with the Loki, which is my plural of Lokis, and basically they getting ready to dispose of both variants at this point. They just had enough.
Yeah, because apparently the Loki and Sylvie Loki,
the Loki.
Yeah, the Loki. Finding a connection with each other was so powerful that it was causing the Nexus event, and that's how they found them.
Yeah, so basically, so they put them up. They put them off the plan, like I said, they were going to. They were going to find them, proof the windows. But so they separate them. They get thrown in the separate time cells, time rooms, or whatever they call those things, where they basically that thing. And Mobius gets a few digs into Loki. They're basically saying he only cares about himself. and there's some little friction between Mobius and Loki as Mobius gets the upper hand over Loki about Sylvia, because he literally tells Loki she's dead.
She's dead, yeah.
And his face is like, oh.
Yeah, you can tell.
He's like, almost like, Loki pretends not to care about people, but he does. He saw him when Freya died.
Mm-hmm.
He pretended not to care, but then the illusion of his room disappeared, and it was like his room was destroyed. And he tells him not to care, and then he throws him into that time loop prison.
Well, something interesting.
Okay.
In the beginning, when Ravonna takes Sylvie,
Mm-hmm.
when Sylvie sees the dialogue guy that you have to sign everything you've ever said, there's no cat on his mug.
Ah, okay.
And when the Nexus event starts with them two connecting,
Right.
the screen, Morag planet is on there. That's the planet that Quill visited.
Yeah.
It was apparently an ocean planet. Sakaar, the trash planet and Thor was on there.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Also, Aladon Prime, which apparently a decimated planet that the Kree army retreated to in the comics.
Right.
And Alberta, Canada.
I missed the whole Alberta Canada thing.
Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
Weapon X.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that.
It's Mobius.
Right.
When Loki tells him that you're like everybody's a variant or whatever, and the light starts to hit Mobius, and he kind of thinks for a minute, like, could he be right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, if you watch, as he pushes that away and is like, no, that's not, you're just, it's just back to dark across his face.
Yeah. Well,
it's a really neat thing they do with the lighting.
Yeah, but basically they do that. Basically, push more characters. In the first part of the show, Mobius is actually pretty damn nasty because he's just trying to get the job done. They're done with him. They're done with the variants. It's getting to the end game for them. They want to get rid of him, that sort of thing. And he's absolutely had enough of Loki because he gave Loki all his trust, and Loki betrayed his trust. But they throw him into that time loop prison.
With Sif.
And we finally see Jamie Alexander, who's coming back, who also is going to be appearing, coming back in basically Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yep.
And she basically constantly punches Loki, and it's like this cycle, because he cuts her hair while she's asleep.
Which was also...
It's a Norse myth.
Yep, actually happened in based on what happened in the Norse mythology.
It's basically a Norse story, but it's Sif, who's actually he's actually Thor's wife, actually has golden hair.
Yeah. They go to the dwarves and they make her golden hair, and then eventually they make Mjolnir.
So basically, it's a whole thing going on here.
And she tells him he's a conniving, craving worm that deserves to be alone and always will be.
Yeah. So I'm kind of wondering. I'm trying to figure out how the slaps usually happen. Actors usually slap when they do the slaps. So they usually are slapping each other in the face. How many times did Jamie Alexander get slapped Tom Hiddleston in the face?
And the sound gets louder each time.
It's louder each time.
Yep.
So, but no, it was just
emphasizing even
it was a
more.
funny segment in many ways, and you see Loki getting getting more and more ground down.
Yeah.
By basically facing this moment, or basically was supposed to be basically a moment of mischief, turning into something much greater and more painful every single time. To the point he's begging Sif not to hit him. He's trying to convince her not to hurt him.
Yeah.
And even at the final one, when she doesn't hit him, she still pulls him up, and I thought it was the most devastating one of them all. She still says, "You are going to be alone for the rest of your life." You just see the angst and agony in his face.
It was heartbreaking. It really was.
So that was actually kind of funny. It's actually fun to see Jamie Alexander back too.
Yes, so nice to see her.
So I hope she's got a good role in Love and Thunder.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that movie too.
But anyway, so basically we go to Ravonna's office at that point, and she has a congratulations drink with Mobius. And he asks about C20? What's the C120? C20? And basically he gets told that she's killed because she went mad. Now he's not kind of buying this story at this time, because Mobius has got this curiosity factor to him, and I think he's been trained by the TVA to be more curious. I think he might be a previous variant of him he might be a detective or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to find the truth in the story sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's not buying the story. So basically, what he does, he actually switches time pads with Ravana. And
He
to
takes
find,
her 10 pad and
takes
goes
it-
to the library.
and goes to basically find out if basically, to find out if the story is true.
Yeah.
And while he's doing this, while this is all happening, E-115 confronts Sylvie and demands to know where the memories she was implanted in her head came from.
Mm-hmm.
And Sylvie tells her basically she can't create memories; they were always there.
Yep.
And E-115 realizes she had a life before the TVA.
And that scene was just done so beautifully.
Mhm.
It's a nod to the Blade Runner, the Tears and Rain monologue.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's stretching a little bit. I mean, it was nice that it was crying, but her face was completely dry apart from the tear.
She's B-15's like the replicants. She's been denied, her memories and stuff,
Mhm.
and denied to be the person she she could be.
And she says basically, I don't remember the full memory, but I felt happy.
Yeah, I was happy.
I was happy. And you going, I want to see the memory, I want to see the memory.
I
And
know,
I'm going,
I was screaming at the screen. I'm like, I want to see the memory. What is the memory? Just a peek.
and I was
Just a
thinking
peek.
this, don't show the memory, because it's much more effective.
It
Is
is.
seeing the actor show you the pain of what they saw.
And girl, she is good. She is so good. Oh, she's good.
Yeah, so basically made her turning against the TVA much more realistic.
Oh yeah.
You shouldn't ever have to flashback to everything you see. There's no point doing it. So the mythology behind why was she happy can grow and grow and grow.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to know why. We just need to know that she was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that makes it even more powerful.
Oh, it does.
So-
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, so anyhow, we flash back to Mobius, who goes basically now, he's actually somewhere in the TVA massive library. And he's got Ron's time pad, and he accesses it, which is like, really, you can get access to those time pads so easily? I mean, I can't remember the code to get my phone off the damn time.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the thumbprint, I'd be fucked.
Well, a lot of their technology is very basic and minimal and.
Yes and no, I guess. I'm just pointing out the mobile phone screen thing.
Yeah.
I mean, my phone's here. If I didn't actually have the thumbprint, I think I'd be locked on my phone for hundreds of years.
Me too.
But it's one of those things. So he for some reason she recorded the interrogation on her time pad. So we see C120 basically there saying that basically it's all a lie. And
Yeah,
I
I
remember
saw it. That it was a real memory. I was at that bar.
Yeah, that sort of thing. And he realizes Ravana lied to him, saying that he actually went mad. She killed 120 because she knew the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And this makes it even scarier, because Ravana's obviously a variant too. Okay, I'm thinking that. But she is a true believer
Mm-hmm.
in the timeline. And she knows a lot more what's going on behind the scenes, and she's willing to kill to protect it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like, oh my god, that's actually, at that point, it's like, this gets really chilling. And you see Mobius' reaction on his face. And we actually see Owen Wilson
Oh, I know. Because it's everything that he believes has just been
popped. Yeah.
And just taken away from him.
I think in many ways he took the time pad to confirm everything was okay, not to find out if she was lying.
Yeah,
I
think he wanted.
He was desperate to basically confirm.
I think he was hoping he was going to open it and it was going to confirm, and he was going to be like, "Ha, you Loki,
Yeah.
you were wrong, blah blah blah," but then he found out he was right.
Yeah, and that's probably an even greater trail.
Yeah.
So Mobius goes to the time prison.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, pulls Loki out again and goes,
And
hey, follow me, we're going to get out of it, you're going to have to trust me.
And he tells him, you can be anything you want to be, you can be good. And the grin that Loki gets. Because I think that's really what Loki has needed always to hear from somebody, that, you're not just all chaos.
You're not chaos.
You're not just all chaos. You can be whatever you want. You can be good if you want to be. You don't have to be mischievous, and you don't have to be, bad. you can be good.
Yeah, and it was actually a nice poignant scene, and he says,
It was sweet.
trust me, they come out the portal back into the time shop, and Ravana's waiting for him with some hunters, and we all thought, this is going to get really bad. I thought we was going to see a fight scene. And
I thought we were going to see a fight scene too.
This is the bit that I found hilarious and horrifying at the same time. He gives Ravana a time pad. He tries to use the excuse, we must have gotten mixed up. Yeah, but Ravana knows better.
Yeah, she knows better.
She knows what's going on.
She knows he's onto it.
He's onto it. He's not a true believer anymore. Mm-hmm. But instead of basically trying to convince Mobius to be on her side, which I thought she might do, she liked him. She prunes him, and you went nuts.
I went crazy. Well, okay, they walk through the little portal. Mm-hmm. There's Ravana and her soldiers, and a bunch of hunters, and they're caught. And then Mobius is just, he's like, starts saying, you know what? You know where I want to be? You asked me earlier. I want to be on a jet ski. That's where I like to be, on a jet ski. I want to be on a jet ski. Loki just looks gutted. I jumped off the couch.
I thought you were going to try and leap through the TV.
I was screaming at the TV. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yes.
I'm like, why? Oh,
you were swearing.
Crying. I was swearing. I know he's going to be back. But it was just in that moment.
You got my moment. He's going to be back, right? He's going to be back, right? I'm like, well, yeah, IMDb says it's going to be here for the next episode.
It was just in that moment, I was feeling what Loki was feeling, was like, what?
You were so invested in Mobius,
Mobius'
character.
I didn't think Ravana was going to prune him, because you could tell she had, feelings for him. Mm-hmm. But, man.
Here's my thought on this. She was going to bring Mobius in on the secret. But she was going to do it after basically the Loki were basically removed.
I also think that's what the first movie was.
Could be. You don't know how many Mobiuses are out there. They're all variants after all. Mm-hmm. But I think she was going to bring him in on the secret. She felt like he was ready to learn what's going on behind the curtain. And I think that's when she just proved him, that he's no good to me, you're dead. Mm-hmm. Which I was actually surprised a little bit. But after this, basically the Loki and Sylvia reunited, and they're taken to the time elevator to go see the timekeepers.
Yes.
The idea basically is Ravana is going to execute them in front of them.
Yeah, and she asked Ravana, what was my, Nexus event. Yeah. And when you see her, she's playing with the dragon, and Valkyrie on a Pegasus, and there's a Fenris wolf, and she's just a kid. She's just playing with her toy. Yeah. What did she possibly freaking do to cause a Nexus event? And Ravana just, gets this little smirky grin on her face, and she's just like, Sylvia asked her, why? And she's like, I don't remember. But she remembers.
Oh, we'll find out.
I think Ravana remembers, because this Loki in particular has been a thorn in her side since she got away.
Thorns to the point of
But she also let her get away too, because she could have grabbed her. She just stood there and let her get away.
It's probably a kid thing too. We'll find out. I think we're going to find out more about Ravana in the next episode.
Yeah.
Maybe, I think. Basically, because they want to sympathise. Marvel wants to sympathise with the villains a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to find a bit more about Ravana. Ravana basically came out of nowhere in terms of villainhood.
Yeah, and she went from a hunter who lost a variant to becoming a judge.
She pretty much runs the TVA.
Yeah, she's pretty much running the TVA.
So basically,
something's going on there.
Something's going on there, but basically we go up the elevator and we finally see the timekeepers for the very first time.
Oh boy.
And this is the point where we told at that point we both looked at each other and went, yeah, they're fake.
Yeah.
You could tell how it was like looking at a Disney animatronic. It really was. Mm-hmm. So we knew at this point we're going to somehow they're going to expose the timekeepers to be fakes, and we're going to see behind the curtain. Mm-hmm. I knew this was coming. You knew this was coming too. I thought we were going to see it in this episode. I really did. And they're getting ready to basically kill the Loki. I don't have to call it Loki.
And if you notice, it looked like there's a debate. I guess we'll find out. Maybe not. But the symbols on the walls in the Timekeeper's chambers kind of look similar to the runes like that Wanda used. So could they be using rune magic to, keep people for like the Loki?
And the TVA is all about stopping probability. Chaos. Her magic is chaos magic. TVA is the antithesis of chaos.
Well, no, I'm not saying they're using the same magic as her. I'm just saying.
I'm just pointing out there's a lot.
Maybe they are using magic. Period.
Could be. I mean, they did a big thing about basically you inside my house, use the ruins, you can't do anything inside my house, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what's going on there. We're learning more about TV as we go. So they're getting rid of the prune basically the Loki, and then basically B115 printers, and basically
yes.
And you literally that's what you said. Yes.
I did. I said yes.
And basically she knocks out one of the guards and throws Loki a sword, and then she gets knocked out herself. Which I thought was kind of sick. I was kind of like, oh, is that it?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of made me mad because it was like, really?
Is that what we're going to get like that?
My girl is way tougher than that to get just knocked out like that. Come on.
I mean, literally 2 episodes ago.
Why do you do her dirty like that?
Literally 2 episodes ago, we saw her go toe-to-toe with Loki.
Yeah.
I was actually...
They did her dirty.
Yeah, and the episode before that, we literally see her just go, just knock Loki the fuck out.
Yeah.
So it felt like, a little bit like, was that it? We're not going to see her take down one
I mean, at
couple
least
of guards?
if they're going to put her, if you want her knocked out for the scene, at least let her get a couple, get some fight in her.
It was actually like,
yeah, come on.
That's what it felt like.
They did my girl dirty.
I think it could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
But so basically he gets a sword and they start fighting the time guards and that sort of thing. And one thing I actually thought as well, speaking of fighting, was this Loki variant's not a very good fighter. We got okay. So look, we see Loki kill frost giants in the Thor movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we see Loki basically fight here and there. We see Loki fight.
But he also doesn't have his magic in this either.
Yeah, but he's also not. We see Loki fight on the bridge in Endgame, on the bridge in Ragnarok, right? And he's actually pretty nifty, pretty fast with the blades anyway. He actually kills one of Hela's guards with his helmet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, so this Loki doesn't know how to fight then. Okay. That's fine, that's perfectly fine. So they're fighting away and Sylvie's fighting basically with Anna, which makes some kind of sense there. And he's fighting 2 guards at once, like, really Loki, you're making a meal out of this. And,
and it's weird, Sylvie gets best Ravana and she's got her dead to rights. She could take her out right there. And Ravana's like, go ahead, do it.
But Sylvie wants to know why.
But Sylvie's like, oh, no, but you ain't going on. I want to know what's going on.
But Sylvie wants to know what's going on, and she wants to know why she was taken. I think the biggest thing question Sylvie has is, why was I taken? I don't know why. And that's probably what's haunting her.
Mm-hmm.
But during the fight...
And I think it's going to be something as simple as, like, because she was a girl. Because she was born of a girl instead of a boy.
It's going to be something
or it's just going to be, it's going to be something really just trivial.
It's going to be something trivial. The one thing I got from the Biscuit variant is it's a trivial decision. 90% of the time, it's a trivial decision. So you turn left instead of going right, that sort of thing. And that's basically nice in the variant, you basically rested on the TVA.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that. Now, during the fight, one of the timekeepers gets damaged, the head falls off. And at that point, we've gone, yeah, we knew this was coming.
Yeah, and I like how the mouth is still moving while the,
I say the entire fight kind of pauses because basically it's just Ravana left, the time guards are unconscious or dead. And basically, Sylvie picks up the head and goes, they're androids. We knew this. They didn't need to telegraph this, but they did it anyway because it doesn't bother us. And we're going, okay, now we're going to basically see like the Wizard of Oz come out from behind the camp going, you killed my robot, or something like that. Nope. We don't see that.
And they're like,
what do we do? What's going on?
This was supposed to be the end.
Yeah.
Now there's, who's controlling these?
And then Loki starts trying to tell Sylvie about the Together Nexus event, and he gets pruned.
And when she prunes him, it starts right at his heart, and the last thing she sees is his face. And
now,
oh my God!
I thought you went nuts with the Mobius thing. I thought I was going to physically restrain you from trying to jump through the TV.
I was so mad. I'm like, no, you fucking do.
Oh wait, is that Loki?
And I looked at him. I'm like, He's in all 6 episodes, right?
It's just this again. All 6 episodes yet again. I'm going. It's literally called the show's called Loki. And I'm thinking she's gonna try to launch through the TV and it's gonna fall on her head and.
Yeah,
We
might have to restrain me for the next 2 episodes.
And I was thinking, oh my god, this is going to be a terrible thing to explain to an ambulance crew and probably the police officer will come after us. Honest officer, it was not a domestic event. She just got really mad watching Loki and she tried to jump through the TV to save him. Seriously, I thought you were going to do that.
If I could, I would.
Even your dog was like, oh.
I was not expecting that to happen. But
yeah, but
in credits.
And we're not there yet, though. We're not there yet. We're almost there. Don't get ahead of yourself. So after your mass reaction, we end with basically Sylvie and Ravonna facing off against each other, and we know they're going to fight. And Sylvie definitely is desperate for that answer why she was taken.
Mm-hmm.
We go, oh my god, what the fuck's going to happen now? Because we've been told so far, you're pruned, you're disintegrated, you're erased from the timeline.
Yeah.
You are not erased from the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
We have a mid-credit scene.
Yep.
And Loki wakes up on a post-apocalyptic Earth, and we see basically the Avengers Tower in ruins, and basically.
And he says, is this hell? And if you look at the closed captions,
right?
He does. It's not. He's not referring to HELL hell. He's referring to HEL hell.
Yes, it's Norse hell.
Norse hell.
And basically, standing over him are basically 4 Lokis.
And the Avengers theme plays.
But we have classic Loki, played by Richard D. Grant. That's basically the yellow and green classic comic book outfit.
Yep, we have Alligator Loki.
Who's basically, I think is basically a nod towards Frog, the Frog of Thunder.
Yeah, it could be a nod towards when Loki turned Thor into a frog, or
frog.
It could be a nod to when in the last Thor movie, he told Banner that Loki turned into a snake to try and scare him.
Yeah.
So maybe this time he turned into an alligator instead of a snake.
Who knows? Maybe it's that sort of thing. However, I still think it's a nod towards Frog of Thunder.
I really think it's that.
Okay.
And Kid Loki is
played by Jack Veal.
Yep.
And Kid Loki's just there looking at him snaring. So basically, Kid Loki's a definite pull from the comic book, so that should be interesting there.
And then we have Boastful Loki.
Played by Deoba Oprah. And I think Boastful Loki is going to be based off Sigurd, who's basically boastful, bragful type guy. So we see.
He looks like he's got like a homemade hammer.
Yeah.
That's made from like.
There's a spanner in there.
Yeah, a spanner and I think some kind of train rail or something.
Maybe it's that version of Mariana, we don't know yet, but we'll find out.
Yeah, we do know it's an apocalyptic New York that they're in.
Yeah.
So maybe it's after, there's debate on when it is. Maybe it's after 2018, after Loki's death. Or maybe it's, we know that it's
all we know so far is
a dead timeline.
We know all we know is it's after an apocalyptic event, and that's all we know so far.
And it's New York.
And we see the Avengers Tower. That's all we know. Maybe basically the invasion of New York was successful with Loki, and then basically Thanos came along, destroyed everything, and then basically left Loki there, or Loki's there, and became a dumping point for Lokis that were pruned. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know these answers yet, because the only thing we do know is basically pruning doesn't necessarily mean you're dead.
Yep.
Maybe Mobius.
Yeah, where did he go?
Where did Mobius go? But maybe Mobius screwed the pruning sticks, so they were basically taken to a dead timeline instead of killing him. We don't know. We don't know these things. All Mobius says is, you have to trust me.
And I think there's a good possibility that when he went and got Loki out of that chamber, the loop chamber, I think it's a good possibility that they came up with some kind of plan.
No, I think he already had a plan.
And they might be executing that plan. We just don't know that they're executing that plan now.
I think Mobius changed the frequency of the pruning sticks to basically dump Loki with Lokis. I don't think the pruning sticks actually prune. I think they take people to dead timelines, like apocalyptic events, and
Yeah.
they let the apocalyptic event kill that person.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mobius is definitely still alive, but I also think Mobius is basically going to rescue Loki from the dead timeline. I honestly do think he is. I honestly think Mobius basically knew he was going to get pruned, so basically did some to the pruning sticks to basically push him to another event place where he can basically grab the stuff that he needs to basically come back and rescue Loki. Because what's going to happen now is we're going to find out. We're going to see the President Loki scene in this. I think in episode 5 we see the President Loki scene. Where he goes,
Yeah.
"What did you expect?" And the old people around him basically variants of Lokis and put a knives at him. And I think he's talking directly to Mobius at that point.
Well, some stills have popped up from the next 2 episodes. They weren't supposed to be out yet. And it's Mobius driving near the Sphinx.
Well, we know the Sphinx is moved. That's it.
Yeah. So it makes you wonder could they be in Kang's Chronopolis, and
Well,
this is,
what we do.
that's where all the people to get pruned go?
We don't know yet. We're going to find out. But if they're using Egyptian motifs, Kang is very big on Egyptian motifs, so basically we're going to see something happen there. And we are going to find out, I think, the power behind the TVA, who the TVA are before the TVA disappears. And Ravana is a true believer who knows everything that's going on. She knows everything's fake, but she's willing to do what she's doing to protect the timeline. She's still convinced that it's like, religion, I guess it's her it is. Are we going to see Kang appear from behind the curtain? Or are we going to see another Time Master appear?
I don't think we're gonna see Kang.
I'd be surprised if we see Kang before we see him in Ant-Man.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're gonna see him.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
But we are going to get a glimpse. I think we're going to get hints, and we're going to see some bigger things going on now. But now, basically, what's next? We've got 2 episodes, right? Now, to me, the show keeps changing direction a little bit. I'm not sure if they had a full direction going on it. If it was kind of like directions here and there. Or they're going to take down the TVA, or we're going to find why Sylvia was basically taken. What's the end game for this show now? Loki's game was basically, I want to see the Timekeepers, right? And we found the Timekeepers are not who they are. So what's next now? Does Loki want to take over the TVA? Will he basically lead an army of Lokis to basically take the TVA over? Will he team with Mobius to basically take down the TVA?
Well, in the comic books,
will they cause a
Loki's
Nexus
team
event?
up.
Will Sylvie and Loki cause a Nexus event inside the TVA to destroy the TVA? We don't know what's going to happen.
Is Loki a Nexus being?
It could be. But
And are they possibly rounding these Lokis up for to use their
chaos?
their chaos energy?
Who knows? We're going to find out.
And
But
or do they pose a threat? What
I
does Loki pose to the time? Is it because he is
chaos manifested.
Chaos? Because so he says the world wants to break free, so it
The
creates
universe wants to break free.
the universe wants to break free, so it creates chaos.
Yes.
It creates that's that balance.
We've seen desert stuff. We've seen some sphinxes. We've seen a battleship drop out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's gonna be a fight between all the Lokis.
There's going to be a fight between all the Lokis. I'm not sure what the battleship is at the moment. It's got an American registration number on the side of it, so it's basically an American battleship. But I didn't quite catch what the number was. 'Cause, again, I don't do the deep dives on YouTube. You do, but I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. We've still got ground left to cover. Is the point of the Loki show just to bring Loki back into the MCU?
No, because
It's got to be more to it than that.
Yeah,
Right?
there's more to it than that because we're getting the Eternals and these what if episodes and
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
No, I know,
and
but
we're getting the multiverse, so it's somehow it's going to be tying into all that.
I know, but did they go? Did they go? Oh crap! Tom Hiddleston plays this character so well, and he's so beloved that this show is going to bring back Loki as well.
No, I think it's helping set up the future movies and helping set up what they want to do because we keep seeing these young Avengers
Yeah.
popping up in popped up in Falcon Winter Soldier, popped up in WandaVision, popping up in Loki. They're seeding. We're gonna get a young. I'm putting it out there.
You've seen Kid Loki.
I'm making it official.
Mm-hmm. This is an official show prediction then.
Official prediction. I might not live to see it, but we're gonna get a Young Avengers. They're setting up Young Avengers because they're our Avengers are aging out.
It doesn't matter.
And they need to continue the story. They need to make it fresh and new, and so.
Well, none of the Young Avengers are in the Avenger team, so that's basically kind of like misleading there itself. But we are seeing, we have just seen another Young Avenger in this episode 4 of Loki. Kid Loki. So we've seen another Young Avenger pop up and appear, which is fantastic and great. I'm just hoping that basically this show is not just bringing Loki back into the universe because Loki's a cool character, because it kind of nixes his sacrifice in Endgame.
Yeah.
Where he's full stepped into the light. This is the big thing. I'm gonna make the big play to save his brother, but it doesn't manage to do it. It's a heroic sacrifice to us. I'm hoping that's not gonna be a thing. If it does kind of makes death kind of meaningless for some of the major characters, they go, "Okay, we can bring him back anytime." And I think Loki's death was meaningful. Mm-hmm. And I just don't want that not to lose this kind of meaning, if it makes any sense.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to.
That being said,
I trust Feige in his vision. He hasn't let me down so far, so I trust this, where he's going with this and where he's taking us.
But that being said, and my battery's about to go on my laptop, but thankfully I made it into my script. That being said, I really enjoyed the hell out of watching Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
So oh my god, really Loki's back. This is the whole show's purpose is bring Loki back into the MCU, fine for whatever, kind of cheapens his death, but also going cool. Tom Hiddleston's back in later. So yeah, I'm in two places with that. So wow, we did a lot of ground. You got more? Okay, what you got?
So. Kind of funny. Sam said there's androids, aliens, and wizards. We've got all of them.
Yes, we have.
And Mobius this episode says that he's seen Kree, Titans, and vampires.
Oh my God! This is I've seen this all over the place.
Blade's coming, so
don't pay any attention to it. It's not fucking. It's the Mephisto comment.
No, we know we are getting a Blade movie.
We already know vampires are in the MCU.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's nice to have it, confirmed a little more.
Let's not fall down the rabbit hole of the Mephisto rabbit hole here. This is a Mephisto rabbit hole comment.
No,
I think it is.
No.
I mean, nobody goes down the Titan hole. We're basically talking about how many variant Thanoses did they kill?
No, it was just he mentioned vampires, so hey.
Everybody's talking about them.
There's vampires in the MCU now.
There's a head skill in the wall. It's Mephisto.
No, he said there's vampires, so that means that there's vampires in the MCU now.
I see this all over
so
Loki stuff.
It makes that official now.
I guess, but it's superhero fantasy stuff. They didn't mean to say it, and people are fixating on this. It's like, maybe Mobius is a vampire. It's like, no,
I haven't heard any of that. From what I've heard, just people, it's just. Like, oh, okay, it's confirmed that vampires are.
My thing is basically, let's be another Mephisto.
No, I don't think anybody's looking at it like that.
I think people are.
He mentioned vampires, so that means there's vampires.
We're gonna have to disagree.
I don't think they're saying, oh my God, that means everybody on here's a vampire now. No, they're just like, oh, so Mobius said there's vampires in the universe. Oh, okay, so we have vampires.
It's Mephisto all over again.
It's not Mephisto.
It is. It totally is. It really is. It's just basically it's the thing, and people are fixating on it now.
No.
That's how I feel about it. And you're fixating on it. You're fixating on your explanation. I am not. I'm just like, come on, guys. It's a
Nobody's fixated on it.
People are fixated for 8 weeks on hexagons on a wall, for fuck's sake.
I know. It's just something that happened on the episode to mention.
Nah, okay. Let's just leave it there because we're going around in circles on this. So we're not going to agree.
So.
Am I hearing thunder out there, or am I basically just... It's a rumble rumble. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. And also, if you look now in the credits, there's pics of Sylvie as a little girl now in the credits.
Well, they add stuff that basically is the story was told, so yeah, I did see that.
So I like that the credits are continually changing.
Yeah, evolving.
Because I like to look for the little.
Yeah, actually, if you go to the Marvel unit, the MCU's TVA page, that's constantly changing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So. I did some dives too. Not TV shows though.
If I want to know what's up with her Ravana's Memento collection in her office.
Well, she knows.
I mean, are those snow globe? I mean, her little collection trophies. Is those little snow globes? Are they like little pocket universals?
No.
Is the and the TVA is it in the quantum realm?
No, it's in the no zone.
And there's a theory out there that the TVA exists because they believe it exists.
Oh God.
So like, the map. Okay. To explain it.
Who's going to believe
like
the exists?
When Doctor Strange went into the quantum realm.
Right.
You can. And as it was explained in Ant-Man and Wasp 2, you can control your surroundings. So if that's the case, then that's just hypothetically, this is just a,
okay, so
theory that's out there, that if that's the case, then, they've convinced all these people that the TV exists, therefore it exists. So,
that's basically
the power of belief.
That's God theory. But basically, basically God exists, and basically you believe in that God. And it gets more and more powerful the more you believe in him. So it's basically, that's straight out of Pratchett, that shit is. Yeah. But hey, it is what it is. I'm not convinced of this.
I mean, could Ravana have created the TVA with him? Who knows? And also, you gotta wonder, is Miss Minutes... Okay, they bring in Tara Strong to voice Miss Minutes. Tara Strong is like a big voice actress.
Yeah.
In the nerd world.
Yes.
Like, really big. So, to bring in somebody like her just for like a small bit, I mean, I feel there's other theories out there too about Miss Minutes possibly being, could be the villain. And I feel like she definitely, I don't know if she's a villain, but I feel like she's definitely got more to do with the TVA than we know about.
Miss Minutes knows what everything that's going on.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's go with that.
Yeah. And she's definitely...
She's the Mephisto of the TVA.
No, but she's definitely... I feel like she's sentient. She can think.
She's an AI.
Yeah. I think she.
I don't think she's sentient, but she's an AI. But she knows what the TVA seekers, because basically she's the TVA's computer.
Yeah.
So simple as that. That's basically I think that's the simple explanation there. The TVA, I don't think anybody's going to think of bureaucracy into basically existence because it is what it is. But some interesting theories about how it came about, how it's created, and that kind of thing. I think a lot of it's going to be explained when we may find out who controls it.
Mm-hmm.
And that will probably explain some of the things we've got. Why the bureaucracy is what it is. Why it's like a 70s office nightmare.
Yeah.
So and that kind of thing. But it's all beiges and browns. Everybody's wearing beiges and browns.
Yeah.
So we'll find out more stuff.
They have a lot to answer in like an hour and a half. The last 2 episodes.
And I think there might be better served if they don't answer some of it. Mystery is good.
Yeah.
You don't need to explain things. You can basically...
I don't think they're going to explain. I don't think we're going to get all the answers.
I don't think we're ever going to get all the answers.
No.
And that's perfectly fine. Mystery is good. We don't need to explain things. We don't, like example, we never needed to see Darth Vader's origins. It lessened the character. We never needed to see the Cylons' origins. It lessened what the Cylons were.
Mm.
We just knew from basically story and mythos and that sort of thing that some bad shit happened. And that's all we need to know sometimes. We don't need to explain anything. I always say origins take away. They never add to a character.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been that way. And the character's origins should always be kind of like ambivalent, even if you do say, this may have happened. Maybe it's a dream sequence, maybe it's just this, maybe it's just that happened, maybe it's just Mephisto and flying the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always feel that way. So I don't think we should really need to know how the TVA came to be. But if we see some of the characters, the behind the scenes guy, the guy who brought it together, I say the guy, I want for a better word, the being that brought it together, we'll get a better idea of why the TVA came into existence. And it could literally be another version of Kang. You know, there's many versions of Kang to the point that basically he fights himself. So we shall see. We shall see.
We shall see.
We shall see. But some great theories. You took a huge dive down his YouTube channels. You bit deeper than mine. I just got fed up on Twitter about the whole vampire thing. I really did.
I didn't see anything on there about
I did.
the vampire thing.
I did. You didn't. It's perfectly fine. And it's like, come on, guys. This is like another Mephisto. It's a throwaway line that basically expands the universe, but you don't have to fixate on it. So, and it's as simple as that. I actually was more fixated on Titans, Thanos. How many Thanos fighters did they take out? Kree? What do you mean Kree? What the hell did the Kree do? You know? That kind of stuff. We'll see.
Variants of all types.
Variants of all types. It's just a way of saying variants of all types, basically. I mean, you could have said, oh, we took variants of all types. So
that's
Kree, vampires, and Titans.
I don't know, that's what I said.
Funny you said Snoopy.
Well, and like I said, the Blade's coming, so they're, they want to throw that in there. Just as a seed.
We need to just get a cat door on this window the stairs. Time keeps coming in and out of it.
I know.
Anyhow, look, there's some good theories. I think we've got some fun stuff coming up. Got 2 episodes, right? 2 episodes left. They've got a lot of stuff to tell. So we'll find what happens.
Find out everything.
I don't think it's going to satisfy everybody.
No.
I honestly do not. After this, we've got What If coming in. We've got it should be fun. I've seen Lego sets for that. I've seen the Hydra Smasher and Peggy Carter.
Oh, there's What If ones?
Yeah.
For Lego?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I may be getting that one. But we'll see.
That exciting. Oh, did he do zombie ones?
I didn't see a zombie one. But
Zombie cat Lego thing.
Imagine Lego doing zombie Lego.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see.
I want a zombie cat Lego figure.
But we've got next time we do this podcast, because basically we'll be Black Widow.
Wait a minute, what's that?
Today's the 5th.
Yeah, next
This
we'll
Friday.
have a Black Widow review for you next week.
This Friday is Black Widow.
Yeah.
So,
and we will probably maybe do like a special behind the scenes or podcast or stream.
But if we're going to do a reaction video, we can't actually show the thing we're watching.
No, we won't be showing that.
Disney will kill us.
Yeah, but we can show us.
We can show.
So maybe we'll set that up and do a reaction video of us watching Black Widow, the new Black Widow movie. Oh no!
But
as long as mine doesn't die.
You're plugged in. You're fine.
Yes, my guys were really screwed.
Yeah, they got some entire views. So we've got a lot of fun stuff coming yet. We've got some interesting programs coming down the line. We've got Foundation coming from Apple, which is the Ice Gazmo story, which is basically a 1,000-year epic, which sounds really boring, but hopefully they do it really good.
I'm excited to see that.
That should be interesting to see how they make that work. Ted Lasso's coming back, fantastic and great. I'm looking forward to seeing that. We got some interesting stuff coming in via Amazon soon. I'm thinking. We'll see what happens. I still got to watch tomorrow's War. So.
Yeah, I got to finish watching Tomorrow War, which next week, or maybe I'll, give you. Yeah, you know what? After I finish watching, I'll pop on and I'll give you guys a little review of it when I'm done watching it.
And I think that's it. We've got stuff coming. We've got lots of fun stuff coming. It's a good time to be a nerd, everybody. And I've got Comic Cons coming, which we'll talk about more when we get closer to those Comic Cons.
Yes, we will. So make sure
Remember, July 17th, come down to Stellacon at Harford County, the APG Federal Arena, and you will see us there. Look for the Old World Studios banner. And that being said, I think I've said everything I needed to say. I wanted to say. I could say. Or maybe avenging me to such a chaos and I've just been pruned.
Maybe. And that's all for this week, Nerdlings.
Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Take care.